Every day you wake up to a new day. Getting out of bed, you wash your face, prepare, and most probably rush somewhere. Like everyone else, you too hasten not to be late to school or work and find yourself engrossed with everyday routines. In the rapid flow of the day, in school or at work, you struggle to learn something or to meet a deadline, and in the blink of an eye, you notice that it has almost become evening. When you arrive home in the evening, you do your daily housework. Sometimes, just for a change, you visit your friends, go to the movies, and then return home to sleep. The next morning, you start the same vicious circle all over again. During these daily routines, it is possible that you remain indifferent to other important things in life. In the daily rush of your life, it is possible that you forget, don't notice, or pretend not to grasp some important things. The answer of almost everyone should be yes, because the majority of people fail to think or wonder about many details pertaining to their lives. You can start by thinking the following questions. While you are listening to this program, are you aware that some astonishing incidents are happening? For instance, have you ever thought that you are now moving at 1,670 kilometers an hour through space? Alternatively, have you ever thought that the room you are in right now occupies a tiny space in the universe, just as if it were a dust particle? Or are you aware of the perfect order existing in the universe? The purpose of mentioning these questions is to unveil, albeit slightly, the covering over the human mind and to enable the audience to reflect on some crucial issues. Now, consider the following. What is the significance of these questions from my life? Is it really important to think about them in the daily flow of my life? My final examinations, the meeting that will be held in late afternoon, don't they have priority? These thoughts reflect a common mistake many people make. No doubt, plans pertaining to one's education, home, or future are important. Yet there are some issues which are more important. Primarily, a person should reflect on the purpose of his existence in this world, on what exists beyond this life, on how this magnificent planet on which he lives came into existence, and on who is the creator of all living things, including him. If one thinks earnestly without pretending not to grasp the facts one comes across, one would arrive at a single conclusion. In the immense universe, an astonishing variety of plants and animals, all beings, animate or inanimate, and more importantly man himself, have been created by Allah, the Almighty. Man doesn't see his Creator, yet pondering on the countless pieces of evidence surrounding him will make him comprehend Allah's existence and His attributes. In his efforts, his sincerity will provide him with a way of understanding his Creator's commandments and the ways of attaining His good pleasure. Allah relates in Surah An'am, verse 103 and 104 as follows. Eyesight cannot perceive Him, but He perceives eyesight. He is the all-penetrating, the all-aware. Clear insights have come to you from your Lord. Whoever sees clearly does so to his own benefit. Whoever is blind, it is to his own detriment. I am not here as your keeper. You also reflect on this fact, and never pretend you don't grasp the superior creation of Allah. From the moment man opens his eyes to this world, a great order surrounds him. He needs oxygen to survive. It is interesting that the atmosphere of the planet on which he lives provides just the adequate amount of oxygen he needs. This way, he breathes without difficulty. For the existence of life on this planet, the existence of a source of heat is essential. In response to this need, the sun is located just at the right distance to emit just the exact amount of heat and energy man needs. Man needs nourishment to survive. every corner of the world abounds in astonishingly diversified provisions. Likewise, man needs water. Surprisingly, 3/4 of the planet is covered with water. Man needs shelter, and in this world there is land on which it is suitable to build and all sorts of materials to make shelters. These are only a few among billions of details making life possible on Earth. In brief, man lives on a planet perfectly designed for his survival. This is certainly a planet created for human beings. A person's interpretation of the world rests on acquired methods of thought. He often dismisses all the aforementioned as trivial realities. However, if he starts questioning the conditions making our existence possible, he will surely step out of the boundaries of habitual thinking and start to think. How does the atmosphere serve as a protective ceiling for the Earth? How does each one of the billions of cells in the human body know and perform its individual tasks? How does this extraordinary ecological balance exist on Earth? A person seeking answers to these questions surely proceeds on the right path. He does not remain insensitive to things happening around him and doesn't plead ignorance about the extraordinary nature of the world. A person who asks questions, who reflects on and gives answers to these questions will realize that on every inch of the planet, a plan and an order reigns. How did the flawless order in the whole universe come into being? Who provided the delicate balances in the world? How did living beings, incredibly diversified in nature, emerge? He who keeps himself occupied with relentless research to answer these questions faces a clear fact. Everything in the universe, its order, each living being and structure is a component of a plan, a product of design. Every detail, the excellent structure of an insect's wing, the system enabling a tree to carry tons of water to its topmost branches are all unique examples of perfection. There is an incomparable plan in the order of planets and the ratio of gases in the atmosphere. It is certainly impossible for all these to come into existence by chance. Because where there is a perfect order and interrelated mechanisms, there surely exists wisdom and an intelligent design. In every detail of the infinitely varied world, man finds his creator. Allah, the owner of everything in the whole universe, introduces himself to man through the flawless design of his creation. Everything that surrounds us, the birds in flight, our beating hearts, the birth of a child, or the existence of the sun in the sky manifests the power of Allah and His creation. And what man must do is to understand this fact. The existence of Allah is obvious. Ignoring it would only be the beginning of the greatest damage we could ever do to ourselves. This is simply because Allah is in no need of anything. He is the one who shows His greatness in all things and in all ways. Allah is the owner of everything, from the heavens to the earth. We learn the attributes of Allah from the Quran. Allah. There is no God but Him, the living, the self-sustaining. He is not subject to drowsiness or sleep. Everything in the heavens and the earth belongs to Him. Who can intercede with Him except by His permission? He knows what is before them and what is behind them, but they cannot grasp any of His knowledge save what He wills. His footstool encompasses the heavens and the earth, and their preservation does not tire Him. He is the Most High, the Magnificent. Surah 2, verse 255. In the world in which we live, Allah bestows many favors on man. All the needs of each living being are benevolently met. No detail is forgotten. Let's think about ourselves as examples. From the moment we wake in the morning, we need many things and encounter many situations. In brief, we survive due to the many favors bestowed upon us. We can breathe as soon as we wake up. We never experience difficulty in doing this, thanks to our respiratory systems functioning perfectly. We can see as soon as we open our eyes. The sharp and distant images, all three-dimensional and fully colored, are perceived by our eyes, and indeed owe their existence to the unique design of eyes. We taste delicious flavors. The relative proportions of the vitamin, mineral, carbohydrate, or protein content of the food we eat never concern us. We don't think about how the excess of these nutrients are stored or utilized in the body. Moreover, we are mostly never aware that such complicated operations take place in our body. When we hold some material in our hands, we immediately know if it is soft or hard. What is more, we need no mental effort to do this. Numerous similar minute operations take place in our body. The organs responsible for these operations have complicated mechanisms. The human body functions almost like a factory of enormous complexity and ingenuity. This body is one of the major favors given to man, since man leads his existence on earth with it. Let's think about fruits and vegetables given to us as blessings by Allah. Melons, watermelons, cherries, oranges, tomatoes, peppers, pineapples, mulberries, grapes, eggplants, all grow in soil from seeds, and the seeds have a structure sometimes as hard as wood. However, while considering these, let's avoid habitual ways of thinking and employ different methods. Visualize the delicious tastes and odors of strawberries, or the ever-changing odor of melon. Think about the time and energy spent in laboratories to produce similar odors and about the repeated trials that resulted in failure. Indeed, results obtained by scientists in laboratories prove to be no better than the unsuccessful imitations of their natural counterparts. The varieties of taste, odor, and color in nature bear indeed matchless attributes. That all vegetables and fruits have distinct tastes and odors and carry individual colors is the result of the design particular to them. They are all favors Allah bestows upon man. Allah stresses this fact in many verses. In Surah Jathiyah, verse 13, for example, Allah relates as follows: "And He has made everything in the heavens and everything on the earth subservient to you. It is all from Him. There are certainly signs in that for people who reflect." Similarly, animals too are created specially for human beings. Apart from serving as food, man finds their physical appearances appealing. Fish, corals, starfishes decorating the depths of oceans with all their beautiful colors, all kinds of birds adding charm to their habitat, or cats, dogs, dolphins, and penguins. They are all favors from Allah. This fact informed in Surah Nahl, verse 18 as follows: "If you tried to number Allah's blessings, you could never count them. Allah is ever forgiving, most merciful." The living beings we mentioned are only a tiny part of the favors and beauties Allah bestows. Wherever we turn, we come across creations reflecting the attributes of Allah. Allah is Ar-Razak, the ceaseless provider; El-Latif, the subtle one; El-Karim, the generous one; and El-Bar, the source of all goodness. Now, take a look around you and think. And as it is stated in Surah Nahl, verse 53, any blessing you have is from Allah. Never plead ignorance of the fact that everything you possess is a favor to you from your Creator.